A man desperate to seek redemption with his family takes a job as a caretaker in a Colorado hotel for the winter. How does that go? Let's review The Shining and find out. Welcome back to BG's Books. I'm Mr. BG, and today I will be reviewing The Shining by Stephen King. So, I've been wanting to review The Shining for quite a while now. I read this book for the first time back in 2022, and it was incredible. And so, ever since I started my book reviewing journey, I've wanted to tackle The Shining. And so, I do apologize for this video coming out later than I wanted it to. I started reading The Shining on February 17th, but it took me quite a bit longer to read than I wanted it to because on the second day I read it, I was very sick. And then for some more days after that, life just happened. So I wasn't very motivated to read. And so I'm sorry, but I finished it now, so now I can review it. But anyway, The Shining is about Jack Torrance. He is a struggling alcoholic who swore off alcohol, and in order to make it up with his family, he takes a winter job at this hotel called the Overlook Hotel in order to make some money and to focus on his writing so that he can get back with his life. And it's a very powerful story. Stephen King is very protective of this one if his reaction to the movie didn't tip you off to that. But The Shining is like very powerful and stuff, and there's so many like hidden layers and meanings and stuff into it, and it's just really good. So I guess I should explain what The Shining is actually about. So like I said, The Shining is about this guy named Jack Torrance, and a couple years ago he had a big alcohol problem, which he swore off after he broke his son's arm for accidentally doing something with his papers. So after that, he just swore off alcohol. And he used to work as a teacher. I don't remember what kind of teacher, but he was a teacher in the Vermont area in Stovington. That's what the city's called. And he basically got fired because one of his students accused him of basically working against him and setting the timer forward just a little bit. And so the students decided to flatten Jack's cars. And so when he found out about that, he started beating up the student and really bad and stuff and like nearly killed him almost. So, of course, if you do that as a teacher, you're kind of out of there. So he gets fired, and then he's just kind of trying to work on a play that he's been writing and, trying to make some money off of that, trying to get some awards and stuff. And so stuff just isn't going for the Torrance family. His wife, Wendy, is still rather mad at him for breaking Danny's arm one time. And Danny is still really young and innocent and stuff. That's his son. And so he doesn't really understand anything that's going on, but he actually does because he has a power called the Shine, which we will discuss in a second. And so basically, Jack uproots his family. They leave Stovington, go over to Colorado, where Jack tries to get a job at the Overlook Hotel to be its winter caretaker. And of course, being the main character, he of course does get the job. So basically, his job for being the caretaker is that since the hotel is like isolated in the middle of nowhere in the mountains, it would be really hard to like keep it open during the winter months. So basically, Jack just has to move in and just like keep the place heated for like the entire winter months. It's like, say for example, in order to keep the hotel from freezing, he like has to heat a certain part of the hotel every day. It's like one day it's the east wing, the next day it's the west wing, and then the next day after that it's like the central wing. It's like stuff like that. You just keep the place heated. So Wendy and Danny move in with him, and they think that this is going to be a great new opportunity for the Torrance family. Like Jack's going to get a job again. He's not drinking anymore, so that's like really good. Danny's gonna have fun. Wendy has like a giant kitchen to cook, so there's that, I guess. But soon stuff doesn't go right. So on the last day at the Overlook Hotel, Danny meets this guy named Dick Halloran, and he is the head chef at the Overlook Hotel. And Dick basically pulls him aside. He's like, hey, we both have a mind power. We can read each other's thoughts. We can predict the future. We can see into the past, and it's called The Shining. So that explains the book title and stuff. So anyway, Danny's like, cool. And so basically Dick gives him some warnings. He's like, okay, so you can obviously explore the hotel, but just do not go into room 217. That is a bad place. And if anything ever goes wrong, just call me telepathically. I'll come running. So then Danny's like, okay. So then for the next couple months, stuff is just kind of getting a little weirder. It's like this one day Jack finds like this wasp's nest that he uses like a bug bomb to kill all of them and stuff, and they actually are dead because that'll be important later. And then Danny's like, whoa, this is cool. And so Jack's like, you can have it if you want. So Danny's like, yeah. So anyway, later that night in Danny's room, Danny gets stung by some wasps, even though they're all dead, because this hotel, the Overlook Hotel, is not exactly a normal place. So basically, Jack like throws it out, burns it and stuff, and then things should be going normally. But Danny still has visions of this word called red rum. And we're not going to get into what red rum is right now, but it's going to be a constant reminder throughout the story of what is red rum. So anyway, this book takes place over the course of a couple months. Like, Jack's trying to get his stuff done. Wendy and Danny are doing things and stuff. But one day, Danny finds the word red rum somewhere, and he looks in the mirror, and the word is reflected, and the word is red rum. No, sorry, red rum is the word. The word reflected is murder. So there's like, that's creepy. So he's like, Dick, get over here. And so that alerts Dick to come help. So basically, the final 200 pages are just pure chaos. Dick is trying to get over to the Overlook Hotel. Meanwhile, stuff is going wrong. Jack is further losing his mind, which is insane. It's like he drinks again, or at least he drinks again. There's no alcohol in the actual hotel, but he gets drunk on something. It's the ghost of the Overlook Hotel. But yeah, so creepy stuff like that keeps happening. Jack gets even crazier than before. And so towards the end of the book, things are just chaos. Like, stuff is just chaos. Dick either gets flights delayed or gets stuck in the snow or whatever, so that's delaying his arrival to stuff. And also these hedge animals, which I forgot to mention outside of the Overlook Hotel, they're like alive and stuff, and they attack people. So when Dick finally fights one, his hand is doused in gasoline, so he lights that up, punches the hedge animal in the side, and then the hedge animal burns and dies and stuff. Yeah, that's a little weird, but okay. So anyway, what happens is that Dick is still trying to get to the Overlook Hotel, and Jack has just fully lost his mind. Like he's starting to kill Wendy and stuff, so Wendy kind of knocks him out and stuff, and then her and Danny put him in the pantry. If you've seen the movie, you know that. And so Jack is like, I'm stuck in the pantry. But the ghosts are like, but we could let you out if you kill your family. And Jack's like, I will kill them. Just let me out, and I will do whatever you want. So then they let him out, and then he grabs a roque mallet, which is basically like an older version of croquet. I think it's really stupid that they use a roque mallet instead of an axe like in the movie, but okay. So anyway, now Jack is free, and he's about to kill his family. So meanwhile, Dick is still trying to get to the Overlook Hotel and stuff, but Wendy realizes that Jack has escaped, and she gets violently attacked by Jack. He's just hitting on her with his roque mallet and stuff, and she's getting very injured. So what she does is she has to corner herself in the bedroom bathroom, and she grabs a razor blade from the mirror med cabinet in the bathroom, and then just slices up Jack's hand really bad. So there's so he runs away. And meanwhile, Dick finally gets into the hotel, and then he's instantly ambushed by Jack and is down for the count. I know, that's kind of weird. But anyway, so meanwhile, Danny's trying to run from his dad and stuff, and his dad finally finds him. And then he's like, "You're not my daddy. You're not my daddy. You are scary. My daddy's not scary." So then what hotel possessed Jack does is he turns the roquemelon onto his face, basically smashes it into, forms it into like some sort of horrifying creature and whatever. And then Danny's like, "What do I do? What do I do?" And then he's like, "Wait, the boiler! You didn't drain the boiler yet today. Oh, this place is gonna explode." And the hotel's like, "Uh-oh." So basically, Jack's like, "Son, get everyone out of here. I have to do something." So then the ghosts like run using Jack to the boiler room and stuff. And then meanwhile, Dick Halloran, who's still alive, he comes back, and he's with Wendy now, and they all find Danny. And so basically they escape the hotel, and then Jack, using the ghosts, it's too late to save the hotel. So in the final pages of the book, the hotel explodes and burns. And so in the epilogue of the book, it's been about many months later after this incident. Jack is still dead, of course, but Wendy promised Danny that they would go fishing, her and Jack and Danny, but Jack is dead, so Dick Halloran is kind of watching over them right now, and basically Dick is like, "Hey, you are better than this. You can overcome whatever trauma you're having right now. And I know your daddy's dead, but you can just always remember what a great guy he was," and stuff. And so basically in the final pages of the book, Danny and Wendy and Dick just fish on the pier. So yeah, that's basically the rundown of The Shining. There is a lot of stuff I neglected to tell you because of course there is. It's like a 600-page long book. Well, almost 700. So there's a lot of stuff that I just did not mention in there, but I do want to tackle the main themes and stuff. So first of all, room 217. It's haunted. We don't really know why. A woman died in there for some reason. We don't know why about that either, but it's a dangerous room and it is very bad. And Danny goes in there a couple times and he's like, "Whoa." And then Jack goes in there a couple times and he's like, "Whoa," So anyway, yeah, so that hotel is obviously haunted. The Overlook Hotel is very much haunted, and we're not exactly sure why, because we get a bit of backstory into the hotel, like when it was built and stuff, but we don't know that it was built on any burial ground or anything. So I don't really know why there's ghosts there. I don't think Stephen King explains that, and if he did, then I just forgot because of how much stuff is just in this book. But yeah, so the hotel is haunted. I don't know why. And what I've noticed is that the hotel obviously feeds off of trauma and grief and stuff, because Jack, as I said, he's trying to overcome his alcoholism. He's been doing good for about 2 years or something, but because he has, just the worst mental state, basically, the hotel gets into him very easily because Danny, because he has a strong shine, the hotel gets warded off of him. And Wendy, she's never confirmed to have the shine, but I'm sure she has at least some of it because it makes sense. So she kind of gets warded off of it too. And so basically the hotel just possesses Jack because it's easy to possess Jack, and he just has all this stuff and he wants to do better, but he just can't because the hotel is overpowering him. And so over the course of the story, he slowly gets more evil and he starts clapping back at people. He gets mad more. He just starts doing a lot of stuff that Jack would normally do, and in the end, his love for his son is what breaks him out of the curse, and unfortunately he dies because of it. So yeah, obviously this book is very much about alcoholism. It is about mistakes of the past. It is about a lot of things that you need to overcome in life. But also it's about family. And I really like The Shining. It is a really great book. I'd even say that it's my 7th favorite Stephen King book out of the 48 that I've read, which is such an accomplishment. Very much an accomplishment. So, overall, The Shining is a really good book, and it also has a sequel, Dr. Sleep, which is right there, which I will actually be reading next time, by the way. So, yeah, stay tuned for that. But anyway, yeah, The Shining is just a great book. It is a bit long, but I mean, also the words look like this, so at least with the copy I have. So the words are fairly big, so it's easy to read, which I appreciate really a lot. I appreciate that a lot. Sorry for the weird stumbling there. But yeah, The Shining is just about trauma and alcoholism. And Jack really wants to do better, but the hotel just won't let him because the hotel is just a force of evil. And it can only be brought down by the hotel going up in flames like it does at the end of the book. So yeah, The Shining is just really good. It's not a quick read, but it certainly is a good one. And Jack Torrance is actually like one of the best characters Stephen King has ever written because of just how much nuance and stuff he has. It's like there's parallels of him and his own father, parallels between Wendy and his own mother and stuff. It's like Jack Torrance is just like an incredibly written character, and he's one of my favorites that Stephen King has ever created. But yeah, so anyway, guys, go read The Shining. It is just an incredible piece of work. And even though it came out in 1977, so it's almost 50, it's getting up there in age, it is still very much worth the time to read and stuff. And yeah, I really have nothing bad to say about The Shining. It's just incredible all the way through. So go read it. So briefly before I wrap this video up, I want to mention the adaptations that were made of The Shining. Of course, I've mentioned the iconic Stanley Kubrick film. And while it is not even remotely close to the book, outside of a couple lines or scenes here and there, it's still a very enjoyable movie. It's better if you look at it as just a movie and not an adaptation of The Shining, because if you want it to be an adaptation, I think you'll be disappointed. But as a movie, it's a pretty okay movie. Like I like it. It's pretty good. But, on the other hand, in 1997, Stephen King actually wrote his own version of a Shining adaptation in the form of a 4.5-hour miniseries starring Steven Weber of Wings fame. And so, I don't know how you feel about this, but there's certainly one fact that no one can deny. It is a lot more accurate to Stephen King's book than the Stanley Kubrick movie was, because, of course, Stephen King wrote it himself. And I have to say, while the runtime is certainly, like, off-putting for 4.5 hours, I still really enjoyed the miniseries. I'd actually say I preferred more to the Stanley Kubrick movie, but I did enjoy the movie as well. And so, if you want a really good adaptation of The Shining that follows the book really closely, go watch the miniseries, but if you're fine with just watching the movie that Stanley Kubrick made, that's fine too. But yeah, guys, that is the end of this review. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you have not. And remember...
How dare you like the Shining movie, you jerk? The book is way better.
Yeah, so?
And the movie's garbage. I don't care how many people like it. It sucks.
Well, dude, it's just a movie opinion. It should be fine.
You need to stop making excuses for liking that, and I don't care if it's just a movie. That book is my life. I'm gonna get my revenge.
Here's Steven.